Budibase allows you to connect to a wide variety of data sources. With Budibase, you can get data into the hands of the users that need it. Of course, you want to restrict access to this data, so you don't want all of your users to access all of the data. You can apply these restrictions via the Manage Roles section inside Data. So by default, Budibase comes with two roles, the app user and the app admin. The app user is any logged in user, and by default, they don't get any access to anything unless you assign it directly. The app admin, on the other hand, has access to all of the data. And you can create any number of roles in between those two. So I'm going to add a role right now. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Approver and a nice color. I'm going to add a second role as well. I'm going to call this one Manager. Again, give it a color. And then Budibase roles inherit permissions from each other. And I'll show you what this means just now. So if I drag that connector from Approver to Manager, what this means is that the Approver role can do everything that the App User role can do, and the Manager role can do everything that the Approver role can do. Okay, so let's see how we assign roles to objects across the Budibase workspace. So in my tasks table, you'll see that the access to this has been set to app admin. So app admins can access all the rows in this tasks table. I've created a view already called My Tasks. And the My Tasks view is filtered so that it displays records that are assigned to the currently logged in user. So that filter looks a bit like that. So it's using the current user binding and filtering that to the assigned to field. I've also restricted some columns in here. So the project is read-only, the status is read-only. And I have set up some row actions on my table. Okay, so at the moment, the only action that that users are allowed to take from this view is the cancel action. So they're not allowed to approve or reject. And as you can see, if I drop this action button down, all we can do is click cancel here. So lastly, this access is assigned to app users. So that basically means any logged in user at all, whether they're approver, manager, app admin, they have access to this view. If I create another view, I will call this one awaiting approval. I'm going to filter this view down to where the status is awaiting approval. And I'm going to give access to the approver role. Once again, what that means is the approver has access to this view. The app admin, of course, has access, but the app user does not, because approver is a higher level than app user. So that's what we mean by inheriting permissions. Approver is higher than app user, manager is higher than approver, and app admin can do everything. So you'll see these roles assigned across the platform. So I have created a REST API request here, and that is currently assigned to app user. So once again, anyone who's logged in can trigger this API request. If I assign that to manager, that means only managers and admins could trigger this API request. And you'll see that same pattern in automations and also in apps. So I'll go into apps right now and just show you how that works. So I have my Task Manager app, and I have two screens here at the moment. So I've got the all task screen, and the all task screen is reading from the task table directly. And if I click on the screen component in here, you can see the access to that is set to app admin. The My Task screen is configured to be accessed by app users, and of course has a table that uses the My Tasks view. So let's have a look at the navigation. So we'll see the navigation has two items there, all tasks and My Tasks. As you can see in here as well, this is where we set access, and that's how we tell Budibase what navigation items to show based on the rule. So app admins will see the all tasks item, and anyone who's logged in at all will see the My Tasks nav item. And if I preview this right now, I change the access, so if I change this to app user, then all we have in the nav is My Tasks. If I change it to manager, it's still My Tasks, but if I change it to app admin, then the all tasks nav now appears. So let's see how we can assign roles to users. So down the left hand side here, if I click on this invite member, you'll see this little side panel at the side pops out, and you'll see how we can assign roles to individual users. So in this case, the user fern@budibase.com. I can set this user up to be an app user. We also have groups, user groups in here, and if you've got some user groups configured, so the IT group has two users, and we can say, okay, everybody who belongs to the IT group is an app admin. So that was a quick overview of roles and the Budibase role-based access system. We looked at role inheritance and how to assign roles to tables, views, and custom queries. That also applies to screens and in automations as well. This allows you to set up secure access to data that is controlled both on the back end and the front end of your Budibase applications.